Hello. Did you know your student loans and credit problems can possibly be fixed in as little as 90 days? Student loans and credit problems are an epidemic, but there are legal and viable solutions that are rarely talked about. And as you will see in the following video clips, you are not alone.
Here's what makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Student loan debt is the only debt that in 99.999999% of the cases cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. And when you don't pay it back, they are thrilled. They are thrilled because it starts to compound and compound and compound, and 40,000 turns into 80,000, turns into 150,000, and then they contact you and you have got to pay back that $150,000. You can't. What do? They will garnish your wages. Even if you're old enough when this happens, they will garnish your Social Security check.
In that first clip, Susie Orman exposed the truth about student loans, and also that student loan debt can follow you to the grave and live on after you're dead. At the same time, children of Congress members do not have to pay back their college student loans. Staffers of Congress family members are also exempt from having to pay back student loans, and members of Congress can retire at full pay after only one term. If you got the impression the USA economy is rigged, and that most students are set up to fail before they even graduate, you are right in your thinking. Next, you'll see even though there is almost $11 trillion of defaults on mortgages in the USA right now, unbelievably the experts are blaming students. How many people do you think will believe this news story that's absolutely a 100% BS lie?
You are watching Global Report News with me, Cleo V. The Federal Reserve of New York recently released a report on student loans in the U.S., and the numbers are staggering. American students are more than $1 trillion in debt, and the economy is starting to buckle under the pressure. Over the past 10 years, student loan debt has increased 300%, and according to the Institute for College Access and Success, the average amount of debt among students is $29,400. A rise in students unable to pay back their loans is creating an economic disaster, and the annual cost of a degree at a public and private 2- and 4-year institution has risen 70%. Economists say that consumer purchasing is the primary driver of the U.S. economy, but with student debt at an all-time high, the U.S. economy is set to continue a pattern of stagnation.
In the next clip you will see why so many people have credit card problems.
Sadly, this isn't even close to the reality. Here is the actual distribution of wealth in America. The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change. And the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off? So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale. And the top 1%, this guy, well, his stack of money stretches 10 times higher than we can show. Here's his stack of cash, restacked, all by itself. 1% of America has 40% of all the nation's wealth. And this has only gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years. In 1976, they took home only 9%, meaning their share of income has nearly tripled in the last 30 years.
Obviously we have lots of problems in the USA, but fortunately there is also lots of good news. The following clip is about a program that may be a great option for some people who are struggling to pay back student loans.
But there are other repayment plans available that you might not be aware of. One is called Pay As You Earn. When it was originally created, payments under this program were capped at 15% of your discretionary income. Did you know about this, and would you be eligible? Many recent graduates aren't even aware that there are other repayment options such as Pay As You Earn. President Obama's recent executive order. As noted above, when Pay As You Earn was originally created, payments were capped at 15% of your discretionary income. However, President Obama's recent executive order changed this to 10%. In addition, he ordered that some other changes be made so that more people would qualify for Pay As You Earn.
Obviously, the Pay As You Earn program is not a viable solution for everyone. Fortunately, the Fix eBook series provides solutions for the most difficult student loan and credit problems. The good news is you can use the Fix series of ebooks to break free of student loans and other credit problems. And you will also discover how to get your dream home for little or no money down, even with bad credit.
There you have it. And now you know there really are solutions for your student loans and credit problems. Plus, almost unknown opportunities for home ownership. Take action now. You are protected by our 30-day money-back guarantee backed by PayPal for a introductory price